Good evening, friends. This is Tina. I'm here at the While We Still Can podcast. It's March 17th, 2026. I'm here with Tony. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tina. Hey, everybody.
Lisa is on her way, so she will pop in and you will get to hear her smooth, soothing voice, unlike mine, here in a little bit. But we're just going to get going because everyone's going to want dinner here soon. And there's a lot of shit going on.
Mhm.
How's your week been, Tony?
Oh, not bad at all. Getting ready to go back to work.
Yeah,
And,
that's so mixed emotions,
yeah,
you
I'm
know?
I'm actually looking forward to it. But they gave me a really cushy schedule next week and, shortened hours, so it'll be fine. And, we have got 6 inches of snow yesterday. I think you probably got some too. Did you guys
Yeah.
get?
Yeah,
And,
but it was
but it'll,
not bad, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was overnight for us primarily. And then, I think Saturday it's supposed to be 76 degrees. So
Yep,
welcome to
that's
the
how it
Midwest.
is here. No, I literally looked at the 10-day
Yeah.
forecast and it said 32 today
Yep.
and then it goes up to 80 in like 3 days and then back
Yeah.
down, but it only goes back down to 60s.
Yeah.
I my problem really is needing to know which fucking comforter to use.
Yeah. Well, my problem is 3 years ago when we got about 6 inches of snow at the end of March. Well, 10 days later, we got a tornado that took our roof. So,
Oh, that's holy
so now,
shit.
so let's see what happens.
Well, the climate deniers love this shit because they're
Yeah.
like, see, it's not getting hot. It snowed. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well,
okay, whatever. I know you're
fun.
not even.
The only thing I would tell people to look at is just learn about the polar vortex, and what has happened to it. It's literally collapsed. And, that's why we're getting such extremes because usually at the very top of the earth, you've kind of got this weird looking halo of the jet stream and everything that controls all the cold from the north and works,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it goes. And it usually dips down and you see this. Hey, Lisa, you
Hey,
see
Hi,
this.
Lisa.
I made it.
And now, yay. And now you see these extreme dips. I mean, if you paid attention to that storm system that went through yesterday, I mean, it was from Canada to Mexico City. I mean, it was thousands of miles long. That entire storm system that came through the United States
Wow,
yesterday.
that's wild.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you were stuck inside probably the whole time, Lisa. No, you were Sunday. Did you have to work a lot on Sunday?
I did, but I did see it snow some, like Sunday evening. It's a lot.
Well, it'll be 70 midweek, so we'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Mhm.
You guys doing all right? You hanging
Oh
in
yeah,
there?
we just got
Yes.
on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, there's obviously a ton of stuff to talk about. Where do you want to start with?
Well, we had talked about before you hopped on, Lisa. We feel like we know the Iran war is the Epstein war, and it is causing quite a diversion of attention away from the Epstein files. So we did want to spend a little bit of time on
Mhm.
the Epstein files, but all of it does fucking connect to literally the Iran war and every little piece of history that we thought we knew.
Oh
So,
dear.
um, we're going to talk about the Epstein-Russia connection that we know is there, and the Helsinki visit and the Alaska visit and the Epstein file email that totally talked about the Helsinki visit and for how it was detailed directions for Putin on how to deal with Donald Trump
Mhm.
during that
Mhm.
visit.
Well, and we all know the product of the visit. I mean, he literally walked out of that 2-hour meeting uh, looking like he had stuck his tongue up Peyton's taint.
Yeah, I know. With
And
like an abscess. Like it's not a
yes,
well taint. That's what I'm
yes.
saying. Like it's not a perfectly healthy taint. Okay. That's what his face looked like.
And not a single MAGA will ever discuss the pictures we see and the videos we've seen from Helsinki because they can't explain why Trump looks that way. I mean, but if we're talking norms and we talk generally speaking what we've dealt with for the last, you know, decades that we've been alive, when in our life have we ever seen any president of the United States on the world stage looking like he just got beat up. I mean, seriously. I mean,
After he didn't even remember, like, they're supposed to have, like, they had to translate things in this meeting, right? And
Mhm.
they didn't. So Russia provided the translator. Russian news covered it, but no one from the United States media, translation, anyone was
Well,
let
he
in
took the
there.
notes, and he took the notes apparently, and I think they ended up going through his digestive system.
Yeah.
And the silly thing is, as outrageous as all this sounds, this is all known fact. The fact that Trump ate papers,
God,
ate
he's such a
documents.
weird son of a bitch.
Yes, yes,
Good lord.
Okay,
and it.
guys, can I make a confession?
Yes, please.
Mhm.
I don't eat paper. I don't eat paper. But one time I was mad at my mom and dad, and so I ate like half a box of Kleenexes to like rebel. And then my stomach was, I was like, fine, you're not going to let me have ice cream. I'm eating these Kleenexes. And my parents were like, okay, what the fuck ever. And so don't eat Kleenexes, just so you know. That was my rebel at age 5. Don't call
Oh
me
boy.
Donald Trump, okay? Please.
You know who I'd like to, I mean, you know who's valuable in this transaction is the interpreter, the Russian
Oh yeah.
interpreter. Like, I wonder if that person, like, fell out of a building or something because they know the truth too.
There's yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of them falling out of the buildings recently too. There seems to be, I don't know if you know, and this wasn't on our list, but Moscow. I think all of Russia actually, their internet is shut off. They don't have the ability right now to call an Uber, to go online, to do anything. I mean, and imagine, I mean, the United States would lose their mind. Most of the world would lose their mind if that happened. But
Yeah.
he has restricted all media, all interaction by shutting down the internet. And I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we would not survive. Like, that might actually get people to do something. Who
Well,
knows?
I
Maybe we
agree.
need
I
it.
think that, well, it's the only thing that'll get people to do something because they won't know what to do otherwise. And
Right.
speaking, and going back to kind of the Iran war is, what's up with Bibi Netanyahu?
Yeah.
We've seen
Like, is
what
he
appears
dead
Where's
to
or
be
not?
BB?
two fake videos, but he hasn't shown up to. Last I saw it was 7 national security meetings of Israel national security meetings. So that's a big question. If BB's gone, we need to know because it can
Can
help
we
us
like
in our
stop
own journey.
renting out
Yes.
our military? Well, and we're seeing the real numbers start to come in
Yeah. Well,
of
yeah,
casualties and
casualties.
okay, hold on.
Well, so
Before we totally squirrel, can I read the Epstein email?
yes,
Okay, so it was uh okay, this is on Sunday, January or June, not January, I apologize. June 24th, 2018 at 3:28 p.m. to someone with the last name Jagland. Or no, he wrote that and he said, I'll meet Lavrov's assistant on Monday and will suggest. Thank you for a lovely evening. Oh, I'll come to, I don't know, whatever that was. But then Jeffrey wrote back, I think you might suggest to Putin that Lavrov can get insight on talking to me. And then he talked something about Churkin, but he died, question mark. I don't know what that's about, but he is literally trying to feed Russia information.
About how to
well,
manage the president of the United States.
Correct.
yes,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I guess the thing that's so hard to understand and is unbelievable to me is the lack of concern from half the nation in
Yeah.
terms of the fact that this was going on, and then we
Well,
saw the happenings in Helsinki.
yeah. I mean, none of
And
this is not new. This
no,
information, like the anybody that took the time to read the Mueller report before, the bottom line message of it got so distorted by Bill Barr,
hmm
knows that this was happening. But again,
well,
where was the media? Where was
and one of the
Well,
problems is,
yeah.
Tina, go ahead.
No,
Okay.
you're good. Keep going.
Well, one of the challenges is, and Tina and I talked about this before we got on air here, is the retention of information from people. And, there's so much basic information that we've gotten over the years that points undeniably to criminality, illegality, and all this other stuff that's been going on. And we've been so gaslit, so the people are barely able to keep up with what's going on today. And, I repeat things often because it's important to get things in front of people, but it's shocking to me how often people see things. That email you just mentioned was one of the very first emails that was found. I remember seeing it when we were first looking through the Epstein emails, and and it just kind of, it had a little bit of a hurrah where people were looking at it, but then
Hmm.
it died down, and then now we're talking about it again. But that tends to be how things go. Is we all live in our own bubble, and no matter what your voice is, like I was saying earlier, I had one thing I posted the other day that had 800,000 views,
Hmm.
and but there's still going to be a ton of people that didn't see it, you know, and or people will forget about it. How do you get people to retain the key information? And one of my things I've always believed is when it comes to managing accountability for people is you have to focus on the things that are absolutely obvious and undeniable, like what I have on the screen here I posted yesterday, which is all the documents that had to do with with national security,
Right.
and these are all the things that were stolen and taken to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, that's simple fact. It has nothing to do with Judge Cannon throwing out the case or anything like that. These documents that belong to the
Well,
United States people were
Hmm.
stolen, period.
Period.
and I do think that that's so important to talk about, because one way that we're going to be able to get out of this, I think, is we we do have to share some common reality. Okay?
Right.
Like,
Hmm.
we cannot do anything as a society if there are not some concrete reality things that are not debated. And so we need to
Hmm.
figure out how to get that back. And
Well,
maybe it's not necessarily a good thing to for people to be able to be fed information, but we have to figure out a way to determine a fact from a not fact. And I don't know the answer, but
and the challenges is the big challenges is the online community that is somewhat unknown to all of us. We're part of that community, but because of the way the platforms are set up, we're kind of speaking into the wind a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, and I've always felt, and follow me here. I saw this years ago on Facebook, and I always felt that we're probably being compartmentalized more than we even know on all social media. And
yeah.
I go back to Facebook, and I remember when I was very active on Facebook back in the day when we were all trying to do our thing and whatever. And I would see like an NBC article that is talking about something very important, and I would go in and look at the comments, and then I would even comment. I don't worry about doing any of that on Facebook because it's useless now, um, because of all the trolls and everything. But I would
Hmm.
comment, and then a day later I would see the same article, the same post, but it was a new post by NBC, but it was the exact same thing. So they literally were divvying up essentially comments. Does that make sense? So instead of having just the one post that's going out to the world and everybody's responding to that, so you have everybody engaging in that one post, they split it up into several different exact
Yeah.
posts, and now you've
Mhm.
got this bubble of people that are talking
Yeah.
because that's the one they saw, and you've got this bubble of people are talking. And I honestly think that's going on more beyond what we understand. Even on Twitter, we're put into these
Echo
compartments,
chambers
these
and
echo
Right.
chambers of
yeah.
things,
Right.
and
Be-
they go.
Because when you talk to people, the sometimes there are well-meaning responses like, "What are you talking about?" Because
Hmm.
the information that has come across our sphere has not even entered theirs, and
Hmm.
sometimes vice versa. And I think that we are all like aware and cognizant enough to know that we can fall victim to the same problem. But I'd like to think the difference here is that the three of us and the people listening to this show, you know, they want to go from the facts that we can see that are documented. The stuff, Tony, that you sort through every day, that it's not someone's opinion about it. It's not a spin. It's not a political angle about it. It is, here is the email that was written from this person to that person on this date. It hasn't been altered or messed with. This is it. And, we can all agree that this is a fact, right?
This is evidence that they would use in court. And, yeah.
Well, and the other part of that too is, you've got all of these, blue check trolls and all of that are their engagement farming. So they're going to go into our comments and say the most ridiculous things. I obviously see it all the time, with the variations of trolls and bots that are coming into my account. I had a guy yesterday who he was doing what they usually do. I blocked him because I don't waste a whole lot of time with them. And he literally then came on and commented under a backup account talking about me having blocked him. And then when I was like, well, I'll block as many accounts as I need to. I blocked that account. And then within minutes, there was a brand new account that he just created to come after me.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
I know, exactly. But
I would just comment. Maybe we could ask Elon to make an echo chamber for them. Like, be like, hey, can you do that thing that you do to us where you like divvy us up by what we believe into the comment spaces and keep put all the fuckers in one? We see what you're doing. We're on to you, sir.
Well, and we've talked about Threads a little bit too. I see that a lot on Threads. Threads is very much more clicky, but you do see a lot of MAGA on there talking, and with the things that I post, I've been much more active on Threads, pardon me, and with the things that I post, I get some of those things, but they're the most ridiculous things. They're just saying it to get people to see it one more time and believe it, like we were talking before. And, and what happens is then they end up at the top of your comment section. So when people go into the comment section,
the most comments on their shit because people are fighting with them.
Well, and these people are chronically online. Like, what about the people that don't even have a Facebook account? And maybe if they do consume news, it's like what's on the radio, maybe, or some network news that they catch at night while they're eating dinner, or maybe not even any news at all, just like what their friends or whoever talks about it around them is sharing with them. Goodness knows what those folks are thinking, because what can they trust?
Well, there's a large subset of people that actively avoid it. Yeah, it's crazy. They're like, don't come at me with that shit. I'm like, nope, you're stuck with me all day, bitch. I'm here all day.
But I do see it. I mean, I try to. I'm not aggressive. I don't like Tina. I can imagine you standing outside of the grocery store with pamphlets. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior?
She's in the airport. She's like handing out stuff in the airport. Yeah.
Would you like to sign a petition?
Tina Krishna.
Yes. Yeah. Tina Krishna. Exactly. But when I feel comfortable with somebody and I find an opportunity, I may bring something up. And it's and a lot of times they still kind of have that look in their eyes like, oh my God, you're coming at me with craziness. Like this is too much for me.
Well, and
pay attention. Pay attention. It's just our world.
No, listen, I'm telling you, the skin lamp has been amazing at getting people to talk. I'm telling you, everybody, I'm like, how's your day? I'm like, I don't know, like, we're making skin lamps and shit. Like, and they're eating people and I have to pay my taxes. No, I do. And
they're eating people and I have to pay my taxes.
Every time I say it. And then they give me that look and I'm like, hold on, I have a picture of the lamp right here. Doesn't that look like your leg? Like, it does. And then they're like, oh, shit. And I'm like, they're in the files. Here's the EFTA number. Bye, thanks. And then they looking it up. I know they are.
And that's the key right there is the undeniable stuff. Is if you get them to investigate and you get them interested, they'll actually do it, I believe. But you have to hand feed it. Like people, you guys see it all the time on X. Is everybody always tells me I can't zoom in or I can't watch the video because it's too fast. Well, you pauses your friend and zooms also your friend.
You're
and shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
don't be such. I'm not going to. Well, can't you attach the link to it? Yes, I could, and I have in most cases. But
Tony, we should do Reading Rainbow. You gotta read it to Reading Rainbow.
oh Lord.
But yes, I have successfully radicalized several young coworkers. Very good, very good. They send me videos now. I'm not kidding. Like they want to talk to me about it, and it is you got to get them, man. Build a relationship, and you can be their first influence in that arena. And that may feel like you're like, I don't know, like cult grabbing them, but again, I'm feeding you actual information here.
I'm thinking about the Dewey Cox story where they're like, "You don't want no part of this, Dewey." Oh, no, why not?
What is that from?
Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
I've never seen it.
I don't think I have either.
You haven't? Oh,
No.
side quest, you guys.
Oh, okay. Let me add it to the list because now it's got to be the title of the fucking podcast.
We got so many available.
Yeah.
I like Tina Krishna so far.
Tina Krishna.
Tina Krishna, yes. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior, Jack Smith?
Oh,
God.
So anyhow, okay. Iran war, here we have, we were talking about the ships and stuff, and, Trump's trying to get other navies to join the war, shaming them into trying to join. They're all declining, but our own Navy apparently is declining also.
They're like, bro, we're done.
Bro can't even get his own Navy to do his bidding.
Yeah. And that is a good sign, people. That is a good sign that our Navy is not obeying illegal orders.
Keyword being illegal.
Exactly. Yeah. And we need more of that. We were also talking briefly about the USS Gerald Ford, the aircraft carrier. They had been deployed on a 6-month cruise. That's typical. You either go on what's called a med cruise from the East Coast or leaving from the West Coast. It's called no, I can't remember what it is. Westpac is what it's called. And you're on a 6-month deployment. And in situations like we're in now, you can get extended. Well, it sucks for those sailors because 6 months is tough enough. You're leaving home.
It's a long time.
You're living on the ship. And, I've been there. I've been on a 6-month deployment before to the Middle East. And, and literally you get a handful of days every month or so, maybe, to go and enjoy land. But that's why they call them drunken sailors, by the way. What else are you going to do? And
it's a thing.
The Gerald Ford had been extended 2 different times. So, they had already been out for 6 months and they were told, oh, sorry, you're not going home anytime soon. We're going to go ahead and keep you out here again because of what's going on in the world. And then they got extended again. So they'd been out, I think, 270 something days, like 9 months away from their families. Children have been born. People have died in their family. They've not had any opportunity to be with their family. So now they had a fire on the ship and it's being investigated. From what I read, the fire is being investigated because they believe some sailors may have set the fire to put the ship out of commission so they could finally go home.
Wow, that's wild.
Yes.
And you feel like that's a reliable source?
I don't know. I mean, we know that they did have a fire. Mm-hmm. We know that they've been extended, and we know that the Navy a lot of sailors are not happy with what's going on in the Middle East right now. So I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what their findings are. But, if we've got sabotage happening within the military and military refusing to follow unlawful orders, things are escalating even to another point than people realize as well.
Yeah.
But this is where we have to pay closer attention, because the military is someone who can save us from this situation that we're in.
This is not like a board game Battleship, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like actual real shit. Like, even if this is hypothetical because there's no way we're fucking voting our way out of this or anything. But if, say, we're like, oh, we got a new president now, we're really sorry, we didn't mean any of that. Like, can we be done playing? Like, it's not gonna be like that.
No,
so
we've
yeah. And do we really want to send our sons to the meat grinder? Like, that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
For what?
And
nobody wants that.
Well,
For
and
what?
the thing, to hide the Epstein files and create a distraction.
I know that.
Yeah. So let's just make sure everybody else does.
Okay, thank you.
And the thing is, we've all speculated that there's been a larger death toll than they told us. And I saw something this morning where one of the officials mentioned something in a tweet about 1,000 casualties. And it seemed to be a slip because they said something about Iran has killed 1,000 Americans.
Oh my
and
goodness.
And the official number's like at 150 now. But even that in itself should be outrageous. Everybody should be outraged about the fact that we've lost 150 American soldiers because Trump doesn't want to go to jail for raping children.
Literally. That is so insane. I don't like it. Well, what about okay, so speaking of our Navy being like, hey bro, I'm not really trying to die for you today. Joe Kent. Let's talk about Joe Kent. So Joe Kent I had to look up exactly what he was, but he was the director of National Counterterrorism Center. Okay, so my vibe immediately is they probably proposed the false flag that they're planning with those drones that got stolen. And he was probably like, man, all this other shit, like, I really didn't like, but that's a step too far. Like,
can you talk a little bit about the letter he wrote?
Yes.
For folks that haven't heard it.
Okay, so he wrote, this is his post on Twitter. I cannot in good Ooh, Tony, are you taking a drink?
Yes, I am, of course.
Okay.
Oh, could you hear the ice?
Yes. Yeah. And the gulp. You're a gulper, Tony. Oh, my God. I'll erase that part. I'm sorry. Okay. So I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. It has been an honor serving under POTUS and Gabbard and leading the professionals at NCTC. May God bless America. Yeah, because we're going to fucking need it.
Can we pause for just a second? Okay. So this is a guy who, tell us again his title, please.
Director of the National Counterterrorism Center.
Counterterrorism. So he's in charge of counterterrorism, and he just said that Iran poses no threat to us. And it's so egregious that he is resigning instead of carry on with this BS. That is incredible.
It should be shocking, appalling, and worrisome to every single American citizen.
Like most things, in any other normal time, this would lead to an impeachment of the president because,
he did not mince his words. I cannot, in good conscience, because he has a conscience, and a little bit, like a tiny, there's like a little milligram in there. Okay, I cannot, in good conscience, support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. So I'm seeing MAGA resurface the well, we can't let them build a nuke. Okay, bitch. I thought we did Operation Midnight Fury, and we obliterated their nuclear facilities. But I think that was actually Midnight Fury was Pete Hegseth getting like pounded in the back or something. I don't know. It's very weird.
This guy also. So a couple things. One, you can't just write him off as a raging liberal because in his letter he said that he agreed, I can't remember how he phrased it, but like he agreed with some of the policies that President Trump had in his what did you say, 2020, and 2024 elections. And then he also said that he is a gold star husband, Gold Star widower.
Okay.
His
Yeah.
wife was killed in the line of duty. So this is a guy whose whole life has been, seemingly entrenched in the military.
Protecting the nation.
Yeah,
like
he wants
he's
to
a
protect the
soldier.
nation.
Yeah.
And I can only fathom how far a guy like this has to be pushed to be like, I can't tolerate anymore.
Well, the question has to be is what does he know that we don't know?
Right.
We keep hearing all of this stuff about quote unquote somewhat of an imminent 9/11 type threat because of what's going on in Iran. But Iran themselves says they don't have a problem with the United States. They have a problem with the Trump administration.
The people, right? They don't have a problem with the people. Yeah.
So
but with the people, yeah.
Yeah, yes. And I appreciate that because we're being fucking assholes to so many countries right now. And I'm like, I am so sorry. You should actually hate me. And I'm sorry.
Can we talk about what's going on with Cuba?
Yes.
Because I gotta say, I haven't had a chance to review any of that. What is the deal?
My understanding is we're embargoing them to some extent. I saw the other day that they're 100% electrical out of power.
That's devastating.
Out.
Absolutely devastating.
Yes. And he mentioned yesterday about, I can take Cuba, blah, blah, blah. I mean, literally, we seem to be invading numerous countries at the same time. But, what is the end game in all of this?
Right. What's the whole point?
And to me, it's
are we stealing? Are we trying to steal their country, like being imperialistic? Yes. Okay.
And I think that's exactly what Trump is trying to do. He wants to be imperialistic, and he wants the entire Western hemisphere to be under his reign, so to say. He talks about Canada all the time. He talks about Mexico. We already went into Venezuela.
You sound underwater, Tony.
We're doing things in Cuba now.
Oh.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So,
that's better.
We went into Venezuela. We've got Cuba. He's threatened Mexico. He's threatened Canada. And all of these other smaller nations. He's got all of these. Look at what's his name in Argentina, Milei. Who's an ally, and a number of other allies in some of the other southern. I think Chile as well is elected someone that's an ally of Trump as well. So they're building this imperialistic future.
It's the New World Order. Tony, your sound is so weird right now. I'm sorry.
I don't know what's going on here. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
I'm
it sounds worse now.
That is just very weird. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. That is. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's much
I can
better.
hear you. That's really good.
Okay, that's where my thing is. Okay. It just goes around my neck and.
It was by your.
Yeah, it was all around my back, I think.
Yeah, it was on the back of my head. No wonder.
Yeah.
I had to put it back there while I was gulping my drink, my big gulp. Okay, so I was reading a report. So the Cuba experiences nationwide electricity blackout, and that was the 16th. So that was yesterday. So, guys, that is in hospitals where babies are on ventilators in the NICU. That is where powers dialysis machines. People die within 24 hours. Sewage is in the streets. What? And our Navy is blocking them. The U.S. Navy is blocking them. Russia tried to send humanitarian aid. Fuck. Come on, guys. What are we doing? Why?
And you look at what's going on with Russia, where they're arming and financing, some of what's going on with Iran. China's helping Iran. China is positioning themselves to possibly invade Taiwan now. I mean, this is literally because of one man on this planet. And how are we allowing this man to do these things?
Well, he's setting a precedent that there are no rules anymore.
No rules for him.
Yeah. Well, no rules. I mean, if you're brave enough to try something, go for it. And if nobody stops you, well, I guess that's okay. That's
well, and we're so jaded. We have never been invaded since 1812, right? Isn't that the last time our country was invaded? So, we don't fucking know how it feels,
Hmm.
except what the TV tells us, which the propaganda right now coming from the Department of Defense is so fucking disgusting. They have it like video games. They're using meme culture. It's so embarrassing, like for these young kids who literally play video games all day. And then I'm like, oh God, and I don't want to do it anymore.
We have to move forward
We have
while
to
we
move
still
forward.
can. Yeah, while we
Yeah.
still can.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
It just and there was something else about what's going on in the Middle East that I wanted to touch on, the key as well, and my brain's not working right now. Um, with Israel, with Israel, what they're doing to the Gaza Strip. I mean, it's obvious that that's something that's been in the plans for a long time. A lot of what we're seeing is something that they've had in the works since his first administration. Let's be clear. They planned on rebuilding Gaza. Therefore, they had to destroy it first, and they had to find a way to destroy it. And when you look at the October 7th massacre, there's indications that Bibi knew and had
yeah,
intel that that was going to
yes.
happen. I mean, this has all been staged in a way to set it up to the point, and then he has full control over Trump and the military. Oh, I know what I was going to talk
Mm.
about. Sorry, is why aren't we bombing Israel's facilities, nuclear facilities? Because they have not signed the nuclear proliferation treaty, and and basically we should not, according to our law and international law, we should not be assisting Israel in any military actions because of their uh, supposed, we all know they have nukes, supposedly they have around 200 nukes, but because of their nuclear programs, but the United States turns a blind eye to their nuclear program.
Well, didn't we fund their nuclear program?
Well, we probably also, well, Robert Maxwell had a large part, and I posted about this in how Israel, and Robert Maxwell is Ghislaine's father, so that
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows, and he had a large part in how Israel procured nuclear technology. I mean, with the INSLAW and the surveillance technology that was used back then, also with the stealing of the uranium from the Philadelphia, from Pennsylvania, uh, that all led to uh, Iran uh, gaining nuclear capabilities, but it was with assistance from intelligence in the United States, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Well, and then we need to look at Palantir, which is helping win the war in Gaza. Like we have all this rapey war weird shit, and then we have this like surveillance targeted individual, like our own government literally trying to mind control us via what the fuck ever. But Palantir is all up in this, and like Maxwell's family has a lot of ties to Palantir.
Well, a lot of people don't know that Isabel and Christine, Ghislaine, Ghislaine,
No,
however you say it,
I'm calling her Ghislaine. She's a whore.
Ghislaine, yeah, yeah, Ghislaine's twin sisters, Isabel and Christina Maxwell, actually created one of the very first search engines on the planet in the early 90s. It was called Magellan, and it was eventually bought by Excite.
Oh my
But
gosh.
they were, yeah,
It's
people
so
don't
wild that
realize.
these people that we'd never heard of, us lay people had never heard of until wherever very recently, had freaking run the whole country. Or,
The
Yeah, well,
world.
if not the world. That's
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, how powerful is that?
and one of their children, one of Ghislaine's nephews, actually worked for the Hillary campaign.
Oh, really?
Yep, tech stuff too. So they're I think they are involved in other
Hmm.
surveillance type stuff once since the 90s when they did all that
Didn't
as well.
one of the Maxwell people owned or did 23andMe?
They probably did. I know that Milner, Yuri Milner, who's in Silicon Valley, he's in the Epstein files also. He is from Russia originally. I posted about him as well because is tied into, he's part of the whole Bitcoin thing, but he actually also invested in 23andMe and a number of other of the very similar tech companies that most of them have been a part of. I mean, you have to look at every single uh, social media uh, platform pretty much is now behind President Trump. The owners are, for various
Yeah.
reasons.
Well, and
Yes.
Hillary's Clinton's name came up a second ago, and the fact is that it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you're on. Like the wealthy and the extraordinarily well connected through the centuries are going to try to control anybody on either side so that whoever's in charge is under their thumb to some degree.
Well, and I think
Oh,
that's how it's been the whole
absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think it's been, you look at Biden. Biden did a lot of amazing things as president in his 4 years, but I will never forgive him ever for handing the keys over because we wouldn't be where we're at if he had just uh, done what he needed to do as president. And what that was, I don't know what that was.
Right. We
But
don't
if
know.
if I was president of the United States in December of 2024 and I knew or I had access to the things that Biden did, I would have did everything in my power to save our nation. Period. And instead of handing it off, and that's when I knew, and especially when I saw the picture of Kamala with Felix Sater a couple months later, and then a number of other things that we are now aware of, that's when I knew
It's a
none of
big
them.
game.
It is a big game. Even Obama, we all loved Obama for the most part, but it's still a big game. It's as if once they get into certain positions of power, they're rolled
Untouchable.
into
Yeah.
a system where not only are they
Yeah.
untouchable, but they're also they can't speak about certain things.
Right.
And I think that one thing they can't speak about is Israel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been that way for a long time that they basically, if you would speak out against the government of Israel, you'd be labeled as anti-Semitic.
Hmm.
And
We
that's
grew up
not the
that way.
intent
Yeah.
at all, right?
No.
Just like there's a huge difference between criticizing, say, the government of the United States and the people of the United States, or even like the government of Iran and the people, or the religious sects that are in control here or there. We have to be able to have the nuance to separate that out. But they've hidden behind that
Well, the
for so long.
propaganda has nailed into everybody's head, just like before they had the internet, it was propaganda via other routes. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
They've always been dividing
Right.
and conquering.
Yeah,
Always.
it was just much less. We now can throw out propaganda at the speed of light,
Hmm. Hmm.
literally.
Well, the thing is we with the technology we have now, which is exponentially grown in the last 20 years for sure. I mean, you look back 20 years and what we were holding as our devices back then to
Hmm.
now is a spectacular change.
Absolutely.
And and we talked about the age of information, but unfortunately there were no safeguards put in place and it became the age of access to any information and without control. And people started falling into this trap of being manipulated because it made them feel good and it gave them warm
Yeah.
and fuzzies. And these people hate the people that I hate,
Right.
so I'm going to pay more attention to them. Or
Which is
and what
human nature.
it is human nature.
Yeah. Well, and we had decades back, we tried to control some of that with what's called the fairness doctrine. So that
Hmm.
if you are a news network and you have a legitimate story that's got, you have to have both sides or all sides of the story so people are well informed. But boy, that's gone out the window.
Well, and that somebody needs to sue like Fox News for one, just for to get them to remove the news out of their thing
Yeah.
because they use
Yeah.
in court
Yes.
they specifically use the fact that they're
Entertainment.
not
Hmm.
that they're an entertainment. It should be
Absolutely.
Fox Entertainment, but to be
It's
able to label themselves as a news
the
is
National Enquirer. That's what they have to call
exactly.
themselves for
Right.
5
Yes.
years if they lose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Um,
when it's all quote unquote burned down and we're trying to set it back up so it functions, it being the way we govern our society, that is key. That
Mhm.
you either put out accurate information if you're a news entity, or you don't and you admit your entertainment or that's not your intent.
And there
or
has to be accountability.
yeah,
I
or
mean,
you
there
get
true
fined.
accountability. Yep, you
And
get fined
and the thing
if you
about
share bad information.
fines right now, my God, the media moguls make so much money across the
Yeah,
that they don't give a damn if they get fined. That's just a drop in the bucket for them. That's just the
that's a
cost of
write-off for them.
yeah,
Yeah,
cost of doing business. And
yeah.
there's so
Well,
many industries where our silly little laws and their silly little consequences are just cost of doing business.
Well, and I mean, the people don't realize how invested it is into our everyday life as well. When I have a Vizio TV, and a lot of times now with our these new smart TVs, you get free channels or free apps and stuff on the TV. So Vizio has a free app of all these television stations that you could watch. You don't have to pay for. And when you get to the news area, you see Newsmax, ON, Fox.
yes. And
Like
that's the
those are
free
the
shit. And now
that's the
news
free
costs
shit.
Mhm.
money.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
most people don't get those three, your bunny ears, whatever, your local channels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Most people don't have TVs like that anymore. So you have to pay a subscription somewhere. So it's whatever all the other TV shows you like are fucking on.
Yeah.
But
Well, the
go ahead.
well, sorry for interrupting, but the problem with
No.
the also with the rabbit ear TV, or now you have to have a satellite antenna, and I do have
Yeah.
that too. Is most of the big, all of the local stations are conglomerately owned by
Absolutely.
like Sinclair,
Yes.
another
Yes.
right. So they're given specific talking points for the local news. I mean,
And
And
that's
you
we've
can
seen
watch
it.
it filter
Yes.
down,
Yep.
and they
Yes.
have to, and they're all, you can put them side by side. I've seen a
Yep.
couple of that where it's literally the same fucking script.
that's
It's
the thing is like
insane.
that's why I keep feeling like this is what I would call end stage capitalism because it
Mhm.
doesn't matter what industry you look at. There's like one or two major players that have a monopoly on it, and all we see or hear or eat or listen to is what they want us to see or hear or listen
Yes.
to. Whether it's like
Well,
what's in our food supply. Like there's so many different ways you can take that.
And I don't want to even get started on our food supply because we're fucked as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. But because of all the regulations being, ripped away. But as far as what were you saying?
We were talking
Again,
about
my
the
brain.
media, I think.
Yeah, with the media and how we move forward
Mhm.
is we basically have to reinvent everything. We have to find a way to reinvent our intelligence community, reinvent our media system, every single thing, because otherwise we're not going to be able to fix this problem, and we're going to have even our education system. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
we need to reinvent. There needs to be classes for kindergartners on how to identify misinformation
Yeah.
because they have access to phones now. You know, this is stuff, legitimate things that we need to put into place.
So, my two big things that I think we should kind of end with, and it has to do with moving forward, would be when we're reinventing ourselves. We gave it way too much of our power away,
Yes, we
Hmm.
did.
and we got lazy,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and we got too trustworthy, and now we have, like, I feel like 2 generations of people, and myself in there, that don't know how to independently provide their basic needs.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I talk to people all the time. My son, when he came to us in his 20s to live with us, he didn't know how to boil water.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, we don't know how to survive, do all those
Yeah.
things. We don't know how to garden. We
Yeah.
don't know how to build a fire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We don't know how to set up a shelter, anything
Well,
practical survival wise. And that was by design. So now we're all specialty trained up in our little specialty things,
Mhm.
and we have our low workers that we're now putting in concentration camps. We have our people that picked our food because we're too fucking lazy, and now we don't know how to do it.
Do
and the other thing yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I want to make a point of is, Lisa, you're closer to my age. Is
Mhm.
back in the '80s, these big they were breaking all these big companies apart.
Yes.
Mhm.
Ma Bell,
Mm-hmm.
phones, electricity, all it was. They were breaking up all these monopolies. We've come full circle
We
now,
really
though,
have. That's a great point.
to tech monopolies.
Mm-hmm.
It's six people control everything. Whatever happened to what we did back then that made a change and made a difference.
Well, they've been working really hard to get back to this
Yeah.
point.
Well, and I
I
think that
just
on as the concept of swinging the pendulum, like Tony, we grew up almost some of us more than others with feral. Just go outside and don't bother
Yes.
your parents. So
Absolutely.
you're out there, you're going to start a fire just because
Mhm.
it's something to do. You're going to build shit, right? You're going
Yeah,
to
you're gonna explore.
you're
You're gonna Yep.
yeah, you're going to get hurt and figure out that you can rely on yourself to get up and carry on. And I feel like we grew up and we thought, "Wow, that was a wild way to be parented." So so we kind of like
opposite.
went the other direction
Coddled and
sometimes with
yeah.
our kids.
Yes. Yes.
And I have to
Absolutely.
I do have to say that, I'm really proud of my kids that left my house knowing how to do their laundry and do the things they need to do to survive. But man, it's yeah, you got to have a little fear for the next generations.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
and
we
that
don't
well,
know
and
how to do that stuff.
Well, and the problem is that's what they're relying on. Like it's intentionally been set up that way, is to
Mhm.
have a society of people that can't manage themselves,
Mhm.
their lives in a way that they can then control us. Because if you've read some of the stuff that I've shared over the weekend again, when it gets to the point that you look at what all the tech oligarchs want to do, they literally want to completely. They want to do what we're talking about, reinvent things, but it's going to be in their eyes
Yeah,
as
we're
as
not, like,
oligarch dictators.
included.
Yes, yes.
We're
Right.
not
Reinvent.
included in their fucking plans,
Yep.
especially us.
And it'll be a
Uh,
merit system, like China has. That's what they want, is a merit system.
they want to make it a totalitarian state that they
Well,
control with mass surveillance,
I
which they're
Hmm.
well on their way.
I feel like
Hmm.
there's sometimes a merit system is a reasonable way to go, right? You want the people that are the most talented or the best equipped for something to be in charge, but I can't help but think if those jokers are behind it, it's nefarious in some way.
Yeah, the
Oh, you're
merit,
absolutely
I
right.
don't want them
Yeah.
judging any merit.
Who
Yeah,
gets to
well, and that's
decide
the
who
thing.
has merit?
Yeah.
Well, exactly. There's, I think on one of the very first shows we talked that you guys had me on, I talked about the presidency, and we have to revisit the that branch of our third branch of our government, and revisit the power that they have,
Hmm.
that the presidency has, and even look at having it be, because my stalker said I was trying to overthrow the government after that show.
January
I
6th,
remember.
Tony.
Yes, yes. And but basically, I mean, giving one man the power that Trump now
No.
has is so far beyond the pale. It's incredible. I mean, for anybody to even believe that we're at this point is
Yeah.
insane.
I tried to
Yeah.
tell him. I
Well,
knew.
if if the if Congress and the Supreme Court weren't functionally castrated, we might not be in such a bad mess. But yet, alas, here we are.
Hmm.
Israel, look
Yeah.
up APAC.
APAC.
Okay.
Yep.
APAC. Sorry, I was practicing for my chant leading for next weekend. But my last little thing
Yes.
that we have to master is discernment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Discernment. That is going to go back to the basic what's reality and what's not. And you have to guard your brain right now, because energy is the new currency, just like we have said previously, and they want your brain. So you got to keep your sanity, because they're really trying to make you insane.
Hmm.
Because, like you said earlier, I think it's yes, what you're saying. Plus, and if we're all too busy just trying to survive, we're not going to put up much of a fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what they're trying to do to us right now, is keep us all too busy just trying to survive. Hi,
Yeah.
Takas.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
making besties, okay? And just so you know, the QAnoners are
Do the hair
now.
flip again, Tina.
The QAnoners. Oh, and then I have Taco, or is that Tuesday?
Oh,
Yes, it's
hi, buddy.
Taco.
Aw,
We've got Taco
what a
Oh,
visiting
good
us.
boy.
he is
He
a
is a
good
good boy.
boy. What was I saying?
You were talking
I
about
got distracted.
QAnoners.
Oh,
The original
they
Pizzagate.
love the skin lamp conversation. They
Really?
bite every time. That is their jam. They're like, I told you, I knew they were eating people and drinking the blood. I'm like,
I knew
yeah,
it.
go look at these files.
We
And
need a
then,
Venn diagram, like us, QAnon.
yes, I
and,
have
and in
it.
the
I
middle
have
is just
it.
a big picture of Tina's lamp.
And
I
me in
think
the
what I'm going to
background.
do, instead of doing my screen here, I'm going to do my entire room here is going to be the string of
What
people
string?
and all the
Yeah,
connections.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes,
Like
yes.
that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have strings going, red strings just going
Oh,
everywhere.
yes. No, that's amazing. Kind of like It's Always Sunny when he has
Yes,
the
yes.
thing in the back. That's
Mhm.
perfect. We need to just put your face on his body and make
Yeah.
that's great.
Well, I'll
Okay,
send it
guys.
to. I need to do that. I'll send it to Michael Caputo because he's used that twice in my comments, trying to mock and troll me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Little does he
he's
know.
with that meme. Yeah. So
Oh, God. Yeah, no, that'd be so good. I love that. All right, guys. Well, anything else? I'm sure we'll be back over the weekend,
We'll be back. There will be more.
we'll be
Yes,
back.
there will. We'll be back. Okay, Lisa, you
Yeah.
wanna do the outro?
Do our outro.
Yeah, do our outro because I had to do the intro.
You did it.
I do it
Good
all the
job.
time, and my kids make fun of me.
Aw.
So thank you. I know.
Well, once again, we just appreciate everybody that's listening and doing their part, whatever way you can to try to get this big ship back and sailing in the right direction. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. And stay safe out there. You have been listening to the While We Still Can pod.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Laters.
Okay.
Hey, can I ask you something before I forget?